What's up, everybody? My name is Jason, and welcome to your daily rundown of the day's top stories, stock market headlines, and more. Please do me a huge favor and subscribe to this channel. And make sure you join us over at trysmallbiz.com, where you can advertise your company today. That's trysmallbiz.com. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a brand new show. As we move beyond the world of the E word, and by the way, if you need a small business loan or a line of credit, make sure you watch the last half dozen videos I've done. Pinned in the top comments are 3 people in particular that are connected to hundreds of lenders. So if you need some money, make sure you watch those videos. But I asked myself over the course of the last couple of weeks, how could I add value? How could I entertain and educate the world around me in a way that can not only help you make some money, but understand what the hell is going on in this world in about 10 minutes or less? So I have an idea, and I'm going to try to experiment with this and perfect it as the weeks go by. But by the time we get to the end of the year, you'll probably see my background change. I'll get a microphone. I intend to launch a podcast in the first quarter, along with a stock trading service where I text you in real time. We have 401, which means we need 99 more premium members. So if you got $1 a day, grab yourself a premium membership before they're sold out. So I'm going to attempt to cruise through the headlines in real time. And as you know, I've never edited a video. In fact, I had a guy tell me the other day, he says, you're as talented as Emmett Kelvin or anybody else that's out there. All you need is someone that knows how to edit videos, add the B-roll, do off-screen, back to on-screen, little music, little, thumbnails, which I'm lousy at making and hate to do them. He said, you'd have 1 million in less than a year. That might be true. I may have to cave. Not because I want to, but because if I want to go to the next level, I may have to. But you're going to see me do something that I don't think has ever been done. I'm going to refresh the screen on a major news website. And in real time, I'm going to cruise through the headlines and I'm going to tell you what I think is really going on. And sometimes it's going way off the reservation. And if I don't get thrown off of social media, Andrew Tate style, even though he's way more successful than I am, I probably haven't pushed the envelope far enough. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're ready for this. Grab yourself a cup of coffee, ice cold beer, glass of wine. Here we go. Cut me some slack. This is going to be unusual. Some of you are going to get insanely offended. Make sure you hit the bell. It's usually every weekday around 5 p.m. Without further ado, here we go. We're refreshing the screen. Whatever comes up is what's coming out of my mouth. All right, stocks surge. Boy, did they ever. At one point, the Dow was up 1,000 points. Stocks surge to kick off October and a new quarter as bond yields tumble and the Dow closes up 760 points. At Try Small Biz on Twitter, who was telling you all week long, especially on Friday, that the stock market was bottoming? That virtually every technical indicator known to man, MACD, RSI, stochastics, the fear index, VIX, crypto, the whole 9 yards was telling us we were way oversold. And at 12:30 on Saturday night, sober by the way, I was tweeting up a storm telling you that the Credit Suisse / Deutsche Bank nonsense was totally made up. In fact, you had the CEOs come out in both companies and say, wait a second, we've got over 40 or $50 billion in cash and liquid assets. We're not insolvent. Who the hell's making this shit up? I'll tell you who's making it up. The same fools and minions that I'm going to read out loud with respect to the fake news. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the moral of the story. We are witnessing an epic battle between good and evil. Most of you are starting to wake up. The Great Reset, the Great Awakening, call it whatever you want to call it. The good news, and believe it or not, I believe that the good guys are actually winning. The reason why it's getting so erratic, the reason why it's completely out of control, the reason why the most bizarre things like the UN came out and said, don't be raising interest rates. What the hell are they doing? Getting it? It's all by design. Russia, Ukraine, China, they're all in it together. There are dark forces behind the scenes, the Wizard of Oz. and the minions known as the fake news, the Fed, Silicon Valley, that are carrying out the orders, the mantras of whatever the hidden hand wants. Do you remember when you were a kid? And yeah, I'll get back to the news in a second. This is going to be a very interesting channel in the months and years ahead. So subscribe and hit that bell. I remember in the 1970s when I was watching The Wizard of Oz. I was sitting there with popcorn with my mom and dad, rest their soul. They both passed in the last 5 years. And I was terrified. I was this close to peeing my pants when the great and powerful Oz was behind the curtain. And when the curtain got pulled over, and it was this short, fat, old man, God is my witness, I was mortified. I was destroyed. I turned to my mother and I said, "What is this?" And she's like, "What do you mean, sweetheart?" I said, "I thought he would be a monster. I was convinced he was going to be 8 feet tall." Folks, when they pull back the curtain and we realize it's a bunch of 5'5" midgets, Kissinger, Gates, Soros, the list goes on, who represent two bloodline families that start with the letter R. Rotha, Araka, yeah, you get the picture. We're going to realize this is who we were afraid of. These little dweebs, these MIT, Harvard grads that got billions of dollars are carrying out orders for those wimps. This is what we're afraid of. And even worse, all the world stage is in on it. A few thousand people and the organizations from the fake news to the feds that are designed to keep us scared and separated. Why do you think they have 17 different genders, pardon the pause, on Match.com? I'm not on Match.com. I gave up dating sites a long time ago. I told you this show was going to be entertaining. Make sure you hit the bell. They're trying to confuse. Why do you think they're putting our 4 and 5-year-old kids in front of a drag show or educating them on how to get a sex change? They're trying to divide us all up into a bunch of groups and scare us and confuse our children. Why? Because when you have 8 billion people that have a cell phone in the palm of their hand, and the few that have controlled the many for millennia are losing control, they have to get more and more outrageous, more and more erratic. The good news, many of you and myself are starting to see, when you take a step back and you realize they're all in on it together. It's a big scam. It's a wag the dog over here so we can get something done over there. They're all in it together. You mean we don't really have any enemies? No. You mean Russia doesn't really want to attack us and President Xi doesn't want a war with us? No. They're all in it together. And while I may get thrown off the internet like Andrew Tate did and wiped clean so that I never have a chance to talk to you guys again, always remember you can find me at trysmallbiz.com, and you can call me at 866-2-SMALL-BIZ during the week. I continue. Elon Musk infuriates Ukraine with a Twitter poll on how the Russia war should end. Is there really a war? You ever ask yourself, not only is where all that money going with respect to Ukraine, they've laundered what, 80 to 85 billion dollars, but why haven't the Russians leveled Kyiv? I'm not talking about nukes. They've got thousands of long-range missiles. Meanwhile, we've got our politicians, right, Nancy Pelosi and others, walking right up and down the street in broad daylight. Where's all those missionaries? Where's all those snipers? Answer. They're all in on this together. It's one gigantic scam designed to carve this world up, steal your money for 20 or 30 cents on the dollar. But what the fuck do I know? I'm only up 1,400% since March. I continue. The GOP challenges Biden's student loan forgiveness, a payoff, you mean? A plan to put debt relief in jeopardy. Look, anybody else out there like me that paid off your student loans that's a little pissed off? Or how about all those folks that are involved in the e-loans? Why aren't they forgiving our loans? Why are they giving these kids who have no concept whatsoever of what it means to sacrifice, to commit, to pay off a debt? Why? Answer, an election. You know that. Kim Kardashian settles. Sex tape Kim Kardashian, yeah, Ray J, I believe it was. I told you this was going to be an interesting show. Settles SEC charges for $1 million over crypto promo. Slow down, Jason. promo post on her Instagram. I read this earlier. She got $1 million because she didn't properly acknowledge she was getting paid to advertise this crypto. Folks, how much do you want to bet? Speaking of inappropriate, how much do you want to bet they drag her ass into Washington, D.C. and they put her in front of some council, in front of the Senate and or the House, and she's got on some real skin tight outfit, and they try to make an example of her using her sexuality and using her Hollywood fame to make a point that if you do this and you go against the system, you're going to pay a price. You're just not going to have $1 million and be able to skate scot-free like she has. All right, I continue. Florida Republican Governor Ron DeSantis, future president of this country. Will it be 2024 or 8? I don't know. Maybe you'll tell me in the comments. And Senator Marco Polo, lead Democratic rivals in Florida. And by the way, it looks like Herschel Walker, and I'm in Atlanta from New York, is pulling away. He's 4 points now ahead of Reverend Warnock. And Kemp is 9 points ahead of Stacey Abrams. So it looks like they're going to abandon, what's his name, in Ohio, Vance, and get behind Blake Masters because they think between Georgia and Arizona and the fact that Ron Johnson's hanging on to Wisconsin, the Republicans are going to take over the Senate by at least 1 or 2. Newt Gingrich says between 4 and 7. I ain't buying it, Newt. I love you, but no way. Florida storm damages could hit $47 billion. Like someone said, I believe it was the chef that I follow. What if we took that 80-some-odd billion dollars that we've sent overseas to Zelensky, which probably ended up in Soros and Gates, and you know the whole Rockefeller, I don't know. Maybe I'm getting confused. What if we gave that to the homeless, to the hungry in Florida? Oh, or better yet, how about we pass a $6 billion bill known as the Hard Hit Small Business Relief Act, sponsored by Ben Cardin in the Senate? Oh, I know why. Because you and I are not part of the inner circle. We're not associated with the men behind the curtain. They'll send $85 billion overseas. They'll let politicians walk right down the street in broad daylight because it's all fucking fixed. And they're all in on it, ladies and gentlemen. Don't you ever forget it. But we can't get a measly $6 billion so that you and 600,000 other small business owners can get the $10,000 grant you were promised in the CARES Act. I won't go any further, but let me finish with this. Are you beginning to see what is going on? Fauci and his wife ride off into the sunset, $5 million richer. Birx comes out and says, well, we kind of did mislead the American people. You even have the CDC now saying you can take off the mask. But when I go down the street to my local Kroger here in Atlanta, 40%, sometimes half of the people in the store are still masked up. And I have a woman that walks up and down my road. She's got these gigantic sunglasses, a hoodie, when it was 95 degrees in the summer, walking her dog, and she won't say a word to me or anyone else. I've tried to small talk her. Hey, how's it going? Silence. Giant mask. Beautiful day today. No, I can't get her to react. The other day, I took 1 or 2 closer steps, and she's 10 feet away. You would have thought I was robbing the bank. She was terrified. Don't get any closer. It's the only word she's ever said to me in 6 months. Don't get any closer. The Matrix, the one that destroyed Andrew Tate, Google it if you haven't seen that one already, is terrified. The good news, and there's a lot of good news to come, ladies and gentlemen, the good guys and gals are winning. We are winning. What's on the other side of this is opulence and wellness in an intergalactic world. Oh yeah, the aliens are coming. In fact, they're already here. And until next time, always remember that I love you guys. Welcome to the new show, and thanks for watching.